Hey folks, let's do a single CSS battle. This is June 4th, 2024. And let's get right to it. I'm going to go with the blank template. And this element is white. And I think the two white shapes that we see there are identical. So I'm going to use margins to put the first one into place. I need a height to set a margin because paragraphs don't stretch, but the widths will stretch and it will adhere to the margins. So we need 4 margin values. And so now you see what 20, 60, 0, 0 does. We have a default margin on the body that's also having an impact there. So let's increase that, the top margin, 4, 5, 25. And then let's increase the side margin, 20. That's too much. How about 18? 17. 17, okay. An odd number. How about 160, 140, no, 160, 70, 80, 90, 200, 210, 20, 218, 216, 17, 217. And then that height is 110, 20, 30, 50. That's 150 tall. And white, it's all F's. And it's also the keyword white, but ampersand FFF does it, or hash. What am I saying? All right, so let's clip path it. There are several different ways to cut that scallop, not really a scallop would be a curve, to take that rectangular chunk out of that. And what I'm doing today is a clip path. So 0, 0, 100% 0, and then 100%, and then some value down, probably 100 pixels. And then is it 50%, 100 pixels down? Oh, and I do need the word polygon for these numbers to do anything. There it is. What's kind of interesting there is that I think what that also implies is that with some clever background, with some clever border sizes and widths, a combination, you could get this shape. Not going to do that, I don't think, today. So let's just continue what we've got. Ready? Here we go. So we're at this point is the last one. So we want 50%, 100% now. And then we want 0, 100%. And that's how we do the first one. So the second one is awfully similar. And we can address that with the sibling selector P plus P. Let's use a rotate. Or even better, let's do a scale. Scale -1. And then a translate, 100 pixels. And then -50 pixels. What do we need to do to move that into place? Move over more, 200, 200. And then 75. And that's the modifications we can make to put that in place. And that is a solution. Let's minify that. Submit. And that's a better score than I've gotten in the past. Okay, so what happens if we don't want to use a clip path? We say, clip path is no good. Can we create a background that will do the job? Conic gradient. And we're going to do a from. So that is at 50%, 100 pixels, and it is what? White, 25%, and then transparent. Forgive me for the formatting here. That is wonky. Can I do a format? I don't really think about very much the formatting here very much, but and then F. And that's also a way to do that. Let's minify that and submit that. Is the conic gradient shorter code? Yeah, it is. It's unit replace, and it's even shorter than that. So we've done the translate there. I don't think that we get much of a win if we don't scale. Then we've got that. And we would need to move the center of that from 100 pixels to 50 pixels, probably. And change the from value. We would still need to move it. So if we don't do the translate, can we do the margin? So the margin, I'm just going to copy these margins. And I think we can swap these numbers. And then make this top one negative. We need to go a little higher. How about minus 50? Okay, and then how do we, I guess we do need the scale, minus 1. That's another solution. So these are all variations on the same kind of solution or similar kind of solution. And that's even better score. Are there other tunings we can make? Well, we can variabilize this. We do var dash m or this set of numbers and just make that dash m. That doesn't always result in a better score, but it is another optimization. What else can we do? If we don't do the scale, how would we do it? Then we need to change the at value. So var a or this. And in that case, it would be 50%, 50 pixels. Dash a colon that. So that's that. Move the center, but then we also need to move the at of from, or change these numbers, because that would be what? Change the colors. So then we could do, so from var f of 90 degrees or 90 degrees default at, and then we would need the transparent to be the first color, and then drop the third color stop. So transparent 25%, and then white like that. And then we do dash f is 270 degrees. Another variation. Let's submit that. None of these are, you know, tremendous, but all variations of the same idea. Are there other things we can do here? I don't believe we can reduce these margins in any way. Yeah, we can't remove any of those values. Sometimes you can flop around the margin numbers because these are very specifically in upper lower side positions that you can't do that. Other things that we could do, I'm not thinking of them. So if we did, so without a conic gradient, we need background. So what happens? Let's go ahead and do the thing that I was talking about, which is border solid, border colon solid, border width is 0, 0, 20 pixels, 20 pixels? No, it's 20 pixels, 0, 0, like that. And then white. Border width, so solid white. So this is another way to do this a little bit. And of course I nuked my sizing there. Oh, the background needs to be blue. And we're going to put those margins on the body. And I'm going to once again do exactly what I did before. We're at 17 or something. And 22, 25, yeah. And then this was what, 270? 270? 240, I've forgotten the numbers. Leave my head as soon as I do them. 4, 3, 2, 217. There was the number. Okay, so let's adjust. Let's get rid of the background, pink. And this, so this top margin needs to be higher. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, it's 100, yeah, 100. 100, and we don't need the pixel values there in this case. How about 50, 60, 70, 80, 75. And then the height needs to be 50. So that's another way to make that shape, which seems a lot simpler than all clip paths and all the other nonsense that I did. So we variabilize that for W for margin, and then make P plus P. We're going to variabilize margin again, and there. So now we set. Now we need to add another one. There it is. So what did we flip these? This number goes here, and this number goes here. And then this is a minus 50, we said. Yeah, I kind of remembered. And then the border width is going to be, well, it's going to be 0, 75, 100, 0. And that is another solution. Let's submit that. So that's the border way to create a shape like that. Now you can't, so that's a little less useful on the web because you can't put stuff in it, right? You can't, you got this fun weird shape, but you can't put text in it, or you can't even put an image on it, right? You can do border backgrounds, yes, it's true, but it just feels a little less useful. It's an oddball. So let's minify and unit replace and submit that one. This might be the best score. I'm not promising anybody that. Oh, that's not. Oh, whoa. So what did I do? Oh, so I clobbered myself and wasn't paying attention. So let's unsubmit because that was terrible. And that's the best score. So the one I least like doing has the best score. So there's a nice fun irony for you there. but it works. Can't argue with that. I hope you're having a great day. I hope you enjoyed this, and go make a web page because everybody's carrying around web browsers. It's pretty cool. And have a great day. Bye-bye.